Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Yay, it's Friday. Woohoo. Yeah, short week. Went by kind of fast having MLK Day on Monday, huh? Okay, you know the drill. Okay, a lot going on today. Sorry this is getting you a little bit late, but go copy this down. Okay, try all the problems, come back, and see how you did. Okay, before you go, let's see if we can answer that first question. Multiplying fractions is what? What? Right? It is, starts with an E, ends with a Y. Yes, multiplying fractions is easy. Why? Because you just go straight across the top and straight across the bottom. You don't have to find common denominators. Okay? All right. Go have at it. I will see you soon. And it's soon, right? Okay, we have two numbers that when you multiply, you get 48. When you add, you get 14. What works there? 8 times 6, 6 times 8. How about two numbers that have a product of 48 and a sum of 19? 3 times 16, right? I double the 3, I get 6. I take half of the 16, I get 8. Same product. Kind of cool. I could keep on doing that if I wanted to. You know that? All right? Take half of 8, I get 4. Double the 6, I get 12. What do you think 4 times 12 is going to be? 48. Yeah, keep on going. All right, 1/10 and 7/10. Huh? How's that going to work? That's a little tricky because you don't see it. Now, if I had 10 up there instead of a 1, right? If I included that second, a 0 after that, it looks a little better, right? Because 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 plus 5 is 7, right? So when I line up the decimals to add, I do get my 7/10. When I multiply, 2 times 5 is 10, but I moved that over one spot to pretend it was a 2, one spot over here to pretend that was a 5, so I have to go back 2 spots in my answer. And it just so happens that I don't need that 0, so I can write just 0.1 if I want. Okay, that's what made it tricky. How about this one? How about 3 plus 1 and 1/5? That's going to get me my 4 and 1/5. And I multiply, I got 3 1s is 3, and 3/5 is, not as hard as you thought, huh? Don't give up on those. All right, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9, 7 times 5 is 35, 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 8 is 40. Now, can I simplify that? Yes, because both of those are even, right? 2 goes into 6 3 times and goes into 40 20 times. I'm going to simplify that to 3/20. I'm going to end up simplifying this one too. 3 times 5 is 15, 5 times 6 is 30. Now, 5 goes into both, but guess what? 15 fits into 30. So I can say 15 goes in that once and 15 goes in that twice. Okay? Now, next week, I'm going to show you how to cross-cancel. And that's when you get to simplify before you multiply. And it makes your problem a little bit easier. You sort of do a little bit of work up front and make the problem easier, and you don't have to simplify that much when you get done. All right, remember how ratios work? First, you write it in words, and these questions have already written it in words, right? And then you just put the number above it, okay? And then rewrite it different ways if you have to, okay? So I have these 4 red dots, 5 blue dots, and 3 green dots. I'm going to go ahead and write those numbers there, and that will help streamline the process, is what they say. Make it go a little bit quicker, okay? I took it slow at the beginning, and slow is smooth, and smooth is what? Fast, right? So I took it slow, and I'll be able to go faster. So the ratio of red dots to blue dots is 4 to 5. 4 to 5. Now I can write it like that. I can write it with the colon, 4 to 5, and I can write it the first number over the second number, 4 to 5. Red to green, again, I have a 4 for the red, and I have a 3 for the green. Now, I'm going to go ahead and streamline this even more, and every place I see a red, I'm going to put a 4. Every place I see a green, I'm going to put a 3. Every place I see a blue, I'm going to put a 5. And, oh, the green was a 3. And the other choice I have is all dots. So that's 5 plus 4 plus 3. 7 and 5 is 12. I got all my answers. I can just rewrite them. 4 to 3 is the same as 4 to 3 is the same as 4 on top 3. 12 to 3 is the same as 12 to 3. It's the same as 12 over 3, but I can simplify this one. 3 goes into 12, right? How many times? 4. So this simplifies 4 to 1. Okay, 3 to 4 and 3 to 4. 5 to 12 and 5 to 12. 5 to 3 and 5 to 3. Ratios are kind of easy, aren't they? Yeah. Don't be afraid of ratios. For some reason, I think usually why they're difficult for 6th graders is because they're usually in the back of the book for 4th and 5th grades, and teachers in 4th and 5th grade often don't get to the back of the book, that last chapter. So it's just new. Things that are new take a little while to get used to, but really when you think about it, they're not that hard. Now, solving algebraic equations could be hard. Okay, what do we got here? The first step, what do I do? What's my goal? I want x equals something down here. That's the answer, right? I want y equals, now you notice x is all by itself. What do we call that? The goal is to isolate the variable. Put it on an island by itself. You guys remember all that? In Spanish, island is isla. In English, you have a silent S and ISLA, right? So isolate, I want to put it on an island by itself. Who does the x have to kick off the island so he can be all by himself? Well, not just the 3 1/3, but the plus 3 1/3. How do you get rid of a plus 3 1/3? Well, what you do is you do the opposite, okay, or the inverse operation. The inverse operation of adding is subtracting. So instead of plus 3 1/3, I subtract 3 1/3. But Mr. Daniel, you said my equation was like a balance. Everything was perfect. You just subtracted from this side. So now it's out of balance, right? Right? This side's a little light now. It's going to be leaning like that. How do I stay back in balance? Do the same thing to the other side. Right? To the other side. So I have to subtract 3 1/3. And you'll notice that when I do the inverse operation, I usually use another color ink, and I do it on both sides. Now, plus 3 1/3 minus 3 1/3, they cancel each other out because they're opposites. All that's left is x here, and on this side, I got to do 8 and 5/6 minus 3 1/3. Remember, when you do that, you need to get a common denominator. It's not like multiplying fractions is easy. Adding, subtracting, I need to get common denominator. Why am I lucky here, though? Because 3 fits into 6. I'm going to change these to 6. 5, 6 is already there. Half the work's done. 1/3 is how many 6? 2. And 5 minus 2 is 3, 6. 8 minus 3 is 5. Can I simplify 3, 6? Yes, I can. 5 and a half. Now, the last thing you want to do when you get done is substitute to check, right? Always check if x actually equals 5 and a half, then I should be able to substitute 5 and a half in for x, and 5 and a half plus 3 1/3 should equal 8 and 5/6 if I did it right. Now, when you add, remember you got to line up the decimals. Yeah, that's true when you're adding decimals. I have to get a common denominator. Now, 3 and 2 both go into 6. 1/3 is 2 6. 1/2 is 3 6. 3 6 and 2 6 is 5 6, and 5 and 3 is 8. Boom. You got it, everybody. All right. What's that backslash mean? It means divide. So I'm going to rewrite this and give myself a little room and ask myself, what's my goal? Isolate the variable. Who does the y have to kick off the island so he can be by himself? Divided by negative, or divided by 1 2/10. What's the opposite or inverse operation of division? Multiplication. So to get rid of a divided by 1.2, I'm going to multiply by 1.2. But Mr. Daniel, it's out of balance. This is way heavy now. It's leaning because you multiply this side of the equation by 1.2. Well, how do I stay back in balance? Do the same thing to the other side. Okay. Same thing to both sides. Everything stays in balance. Now these things cancel each other out. All that's left in my problem is 2 2/10 times 1 2/10. Pretend there's no decimal and go 12 times 22. But I moved it over once to pretend that was a no decimal, right? I moved it over once there. I have to go back twice in my answer. 2.64. Now, in order to check on this, you have to divide. And I have not taught you how to divide with a decimal outside the box yet. Okay? I haven't, but I have told you how to multiply. Okay, so this was, how about if I multiply this by 1? I'll get the same answer, right? But if I multiply by a value of 1 that is 10 over 10, then I move the decimal over one spot here and one spot there, and I get 26.4 over 12. Now I'm dividing, and there is not a decimal outside the box, just inside. And if it's inside, it's simple. It just goes up, right? So 12 goes into 26 twice because that's 24. Bring down the next number. Oh, another 24. That's going to go twice. So my answer of 2.64 divided by 1.2 ends up being 2.2, which is, boom, did it right. All right, you guys, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. We will see you Monday. Hey, good luck on that test.